by embracing him in their minds, and therefore, since he is present in everyone's heart, he also reciprocated the embrace from within. Well, there's nothing higher in our spiritual lives, there's nothing higher than that. This is what we aspire to. This intense mood of to be so much in love with Krishna. This is what Prabhupada taught. Our society is not called the International Society for Bhaktivedanta Swami, like some of the other spiritual movements that used to be around. I don't know if they still are. We had back in the 70s, we had the Guru Maharajis, we had the Maharishis, and then later on we had the Rajnishis, and all named after their particular teachers. But we were never known as the Prabhupadis or the Bhaktivedantis. We were always the Hare Krishnas, because Prabhupada said, that I'm teaching you not to be attached to me, but to Krishna. I remember once in the Manor in his room when we all gathered there, he probably just arrived, and he repeated for him something he often said. He said, how can you tell who is the bona fide guru, the genuine guru? He doesn't say surrender to me. He says surrender to Krishna. This is why Krishna consciousness is so potent, and how generation after generation it will continue to grow, because it's not depending on any one man, actually. It's depending upon a process which is delivered by Krishna's devotees, but which is actually saying, experience it yourself, chant Krishna's name, meditate on Krishna, and you see for yourself, feel for yourself that loving embrace which is described here. Krishna in your heart will reciprocate with you. Then there's an important instruction Krishna gives to gopis. Just like Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, surrender to me utterly, and I will release you from this ocean of birth and death. But then he's very thoughtful. He says, however, if you can't surrender to me utterly, then here's what to do. And he says, you follow the practice the path of Bhakti Yoga, and then you will come to me. But then he says, anyway, if you can't do that, then serve me in some way. Offer some service. And amazingly, Krishna then says, and if you can't do that, then just practice giving up the results of your activities. So Krishna is very liberal and understanding. So now here at this such lofty place in the Bhagavatam, where we're hearing about this intense love between Krishna and the gopis, Krishna says to the gopis, actually I'm never separate from you, because he preaches to them. He says this world is made of material elements, and we're told is like an earthen pot. An earthen pot is nothing but a combination of earth, water, air, fire and sky. Whether it's in its beginning, during its existence, or its annihilation. When it is created, the earthen pot is made of earth, water, fire, air and sky. While it remains, it is of the same composition, and when it's broken, its different ingredients are conserved in different parts of the material energy. The traditional earthen pots of India, which are rapidly being replaced by plastic, are made from earth, which the potter molds into pots, and then he bakes it in the sun, or maybe fires it in a kiln, and it's used for a while, and then it's broken, usually deliberately. It's smashed, and the rain comes and dissolves the bits of clay back into earth. So Krishna uses this example, and he says in the same way, the body of a living being is nothing but a composition of the 5 elements. The living entity embodied in the material condition is also my part and parcel. But these energies of earth, water, fire, air and ether, Krishna says that they are manifestations of my energy. And because the energy is not separate from me, it is to be concluded that I am existing in everything. So therefore, Krishna said to the gopis, you're never separated from me. And that is the actual truth. We're never separate from Krishna, because Krishna is everywhere. Everything ultimately is Krishna. So we're not separate from him. That's an illusion. We think we're separate from him. And as soon as we remember Krishna, and here's the secret, Prabhupada says, anyway, Krishna says, first what he says to the gopis, so, as the absolute truth, I am transcendental to the living entity, and both the material and spiritual energies are both acting under my supreme control. My dear gopis, I request that instead of being so afflicted with separation, try to be philosophical. Then you will understand that you are always with me, and there is no cause of lamentation in our being separated from one another. And Prabhupada's advice is the process of devotional service. The devotee can utilize the material energy and its products in the service of Krishna. And in this way, we will always be able to remember Krishna and to be with him. So in the end, actually the gopis, they presumably if they wanted to, they could have gone with Krishna back to Dwarka, but they chose not to, because they understood that Krishna is in my heart, Krishna is always with me. They chose to go back to Vrindavan.